Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good day to DATIN JANNATUL binti AHMAD KAMAL and my fellow friends. Today, our group will present our final S project, which is about Tuntan Siew. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is NURUL SYAMIMI binti KHAIRUL AZMAN. These are my group members, which are Nur Anis AMISYA binti ROZANI, NURAQILAH binti SHAHIBUL FADZILAH, NURHASYRATUL NABILLA binti MOHAMAD YASIM, and lastly HASLEEZA binti HAMIDDIN.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Anis AMISYA. The Malaysian government's Ministry of Finance is led by the Minister of Finance. Tuntan Siew was a member of the Ministry of Finance in 1959 and an active politician. He became president of the MCA in November 1961 and retained both roles until 1974.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HASYRATUL binti MOHAMAD YASIM. I'm from IM455 ST1. I will present about Chapter 1, Early Life and Family of Tuntan Siew. Data: Tuntan Siew is the third MCA president after Tuntan Cheng Lock and Lim Chong Yu. In his time period, because the Minister of Finance, a brand new Malaysian currency, Malaysian Ringgit, became introduced. He is the longest serving Minister of Finance, with the aid of using serving within sight of the function for 50 years. The name Tuntan Siew is a Chinese name, while his family name is Tan. He was of Baba heritage and did not speak Mandarin. His father's name was Tuntan Cheng Lock and his mother's name was Yu Yok New. His parents very loved him and always take a good care of him. His birthplace is in Malacca and he is the only son of the first statesman and president of MCA. Date of birth of Tuntan Siew is on 21 May 1916. Education: Tuntan Siew received his early education at Raffles College in Singapore. Before that, he had attended a girls' school called Saidam Girls' School and now known as Methodist High School. Next, Tuntan Siew was also an intelligent student and always obtained excellent results in every examination. And he also the best student in school. Tuntan Siew is an active person in sport, especially the hockey team. In addition, Tuntan Siew also fell ill and contracted tuberculosis in 1935. After that, he fully recovered from the disease after undergoing an operation in Switzerland. 3 years later, he continued his studies in London. Teenagers: Tuntan Siew had to return to the Malaya on the occurrence of the onset of the Second World War. After being in Malaya, he worked as a supervisor at his father's farm. He worked on his father's farm because his father wanted him to learn about farm management well. When the outbreak of the Second World War, the Japan army invaded Malaya. Malaya was occupied and destroyed by the Japanese to British interests. Marriage: Tuntan Siew was married on 8 February 1947. He married to Puan Catherine Ling Cheng Nyong. They were blessed with 3 daughters. Their marriage is getting happier along with his 3 daughters. The name of Tuntan Siew's 3 daughters are Tan Siok Cho, Tan Siok Lee, and Tan Siok Eng.
Now we move to his career. In 1948, Tuntan Siew has appointed as a member of the Federal Legislature. The picture shown the one of the activities that has been involved by Tuntan Siew under the Federal Legislature. These people need to sign up some agreement related to oil in 16 April 1968. Besides that, Tun Tan Siew Sin also active in Independence Malaya Party (IMP), which was established by Dato' Onn Jaafar. However, this party only managed to hold 1 over 12 parliament seats that has been contested. This provided picture was about Tun Tan Siew Sin and Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj that were about to go to London to discuss about the defence matter of Malaysian country. Before that, we need to know that British government agreed to grant independence to Malaya, and at that time, Tun Tan Siew Sin escaped the idea to give the citizenship to non-Malays, which has been accepted after several discussions with UMNO leaders. By that, we can see that even Tun Tan Siew Sin did not hold the position as defense minister, but his idea can give a huge positive impact for the country that consists of various races. Besides holding the position as finance minister, Tun Tan Siew Sin took over the position as a president of MCA in November 1961. He was the third president of MCA, which on that time there are a lot of internal problems. After he led the party, he immediately solved those problems. In addition, Tun Tan Siew Sin also had used his leadership to awaken the Chinese community to oppose the invasion of Indonesia when the country tried to prevent the formation of Malaysia. Therefore, this picture showing one of the activities under the leadership of Tun Tan Siew Sin for the MCA party. Last but not least, May 1969, HASYRATUL, the National Operation Council (NOC) that has been led by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein, addressed the political and economic problems that lay at the root of tragedy. Therefore, in the wake of May 30th tragedy, the new economic policy NEP was announced in the 1971 Malaysian Plan with the aim of elevating poverty and addressing socio-economic imbalance. Tun Tan Siew Sin championed the idea that the economy as a whole to grow much faster in order for prosperity to be shared more equitably. For instance, opening Bank of Bumiputra, that is one of the initiatives to grow the economy.
Chapter 3 is about Tun Tan Siew Sin social activities. Like other ministers, Tun Tan Siew Sin filled his leisure time with special invitation from the dignitaries such as dinner with Tunku Abdul Rahman. Besides that, he also received visits from various persons to further strengthen cooperation between them. For example, he got visit from Sir William Randall in Kuala Lumpur, visits from Russian ambassador, and 2 ministers from Arab Saudi. Apart from that, he also got invitations to join the dinner that celebrate him by the ministry staff. Other than that, he visited the orang asli villages at Bukit Lanjan, Kuala Lumpur for the National Day and Festival of Rancangan Minggu Muhibah dan Perpaduan Rakyat Berbilang Bangsa.
Tun Tan Siew Sin was a Malaysian politician who served as Minister of Commerce and Industry, Minister of Finance, and the third President of the Malaysian Chinese Association (MCA), formerly Malayan Chinese Association, a major component party of the Alliance and later the Barisan Nasional (BN) coalitions. He is the longest-serving finance minister, having held the job for 15 years. Tun Tan Siew Sin has led the MCA and the Chinese community through Malaysia's most challenging era. During his tenure as finance minister, a new Malaysian currency, the Malaysian ringgit, was established. MCA has been entrusted with 9 important cabinet positions under his leadership. Sukarno, the President of Indonesia, initiated the Operation Ganyang Malaysia or Confrontation in 1963 to prevent the establishment of Malaysia. He utilized his position as leader to rally the Chinese population against Indonesian invasion. With a strong backing from the Chinese community, MCA created the Malaysian Multi-Purpose Cooperative. Siew has been the victim of assault from both inside and outside the party, who do not appreciate his good intentions. MCA suffered a crushing defeat in the 1969 general election and had willingly withdrawn from the cabinet. He has been reassigned to the cabinet after being re-elected as an MP. Tan Siew has served as the Commonwealth longest-serving Minister of Finance for 15 years. He has improved Malaysia's financial system, allowing it to become one of the Asian countries with a robust economy. His choice to establish the Tunku Abdul Rahman College rather than endorse University Merdeka's proposal demonstrate his political acumen. Tun Abdul Razak, Malaysia's previous Prime Minister at the time, commended his administrative from boosting the country's financial situation and making the ringgit one of the world's most valued currencies. When he died on March 17, 1988, the country suffered a huge loss according to Tunku Abdul Rahman, the country's first Prime Minister. Tunku Abdul Rahman complimented him for his leadership and commitment, as well as his contribution to Malaysia's success.
Finally, I want to talk about retirement and the legacy of Tan Siew. He was appointed Minister of Finance for a period of 15 years. On 8 April 1974, he resigned from all positions in the government and the party due to health concerns. After he retired from politics, he worked for the government as a financial counselor on economic issues. Moreover, he was nominated chairman of Sandabi by Tun Hussein On. During his period as Minister of Finance, he introduced Malaysian norms and cons which are now have been used in all aspects of life, especially in business. As an appreciation of his contribution to the country, a street in Kuala Lumpur, Jalan Tun Tan Siew was immortalized in his name. Therefore, there are educational legacies that were started by Tun Tan Siew which are still flourishing and progressing today, which are University Tunku Abdul Rahman. Moreover, there was a new building named of him there, known as Bangunan Tun Tan Siew Sekolah Bahasa Kebahasaan Cina Tun Tan Siew SJKC Tun Tan Siew also used his name.
After all is said and done, Tun Tan Siew is a very brave person that has been involved in any kind of programs or events for developing the country. Based on 5 topics that has been created, there are a lot of contributions in terms of energies and ideas by him. Therefore, Tun Tan Siew must be known by Malaysian citizens as one of the Chinese people who are involved in politics, social, and economy. That's all from us. Thank you.